Hello and welcome to the season finale at Jukasa Motor Speedway in Hagersville, Ontario. It's race 9, a 150 lap event at the largest oval in Canada. This track is 5/8 of a mile in length, which is just over 1 kilometer. And coming into this event, we have 9 drivers eligible for the championship. Bryan Hart with a big lead up front. He just needs to finish 6th or better. He's been super consistent this year. He's got a win under his belt, and he's looking to become a rookie champion as well. Damir Bejgenov in the 73 took over for Spencer Fullerton this year and has done pretty well for himself, sitting in 2nd place. He needs to finish 13th or better. Then is Tyler Thaber, race winner at Hay River, in 3rd, tied with Lucas Knight. Both of those guys need to finish 5th or better to have a shot at it. Then it's Zachary Fitzpatrick Sr., who won the opening round of the season, followed by Small Nozomi in the number 99, been very consistent, who needs to finish 2nd or better. Fitzwater needs to finish 4th. And then your long shots, Ali Nelson, Nick Pericles, and Lucina Gallo, who all need to win. Now taking a look at your starting order, it's Fred Flintstone in the F1 car, as well as the 29 of JF Finguy, two of the oldest guys on the grid, lined up at the front of the field. Experience really paying off. Your championship leader is starting from 10th, 1 row in front of him. It's his main rival, Damir Bejgenov, as we get this race underway. Fred Flintstone does not get the best start there. JF's going to try and hold it around the outside as we're already 3 wide further back, with Damir trying to shuffle his way to the front. He needs to get there quickly and hold that station. Fred Flintstone takes over the lead. We're 3 wide for 2nd with Halleck, Pitt, and JF Finguy, but it looks like JF's going to come back down to the inside and hold on to that position for now. Further back in the field, it's Jeffrey Finguy, the son of JF Finguy, who's in a 4-wide battle. He won last time out at the CTMP. Did not have a great qualifying effort so far today, but is trying to make up for that in a hurry here. 150 laps is the race distance, but always easy to make passes when you're on one of these starts or restarts. As Bridget Pitt looking to move past JF Finguy into the 2nd position. She's had a bit of a mixed campaign, capturing her first win, but also going flipping back at Saskatoon. And she's currently sitting 14th in points. If we look further back, there's a 4-wide battle for 15th as Annie Thomas tries to get her way away from that. We've got Casey Lester in the mix, along with Tyler Thaber too. And way at the back of the field, we're going at it for 28th through 31st as well, just as hard. We got Dan Bouchard in the 037 there, alongside Caitlin Sang, your 2017 champion, not eligible for today. Rubbing against the side of the 97 car, Nikki Martinez. They got down into the corner, and they're really using all the real estate on this track. When it was redone, they widened the track out a bit, and they're definitely using every inch. As JF Finguy gets a run on the F1 car down the backstretch and takes a peek to the inside, trying to get a pass done on the F1 car. That's Small Nozomi in the 99 getting up into the mix. She needs to finish 2nd or better, and well, she's getting herself in a position to do that, as this battle will continue for several laps. We're actually on the 3rd or 4th lap straight of these two battling for position. Fred refusing to give way. Looks like JF has got the pass made at this point, but a huge lunge down into the corner by Fred Flintstone to keep the battle alive. But finally, at long last, it would be JF taking over the race lead. As now we're looking at a battle between the 35 of Bryan Hart along with Damir Bejgenov, as they both struggle for track position. 73 needs to get in front of the 35 and stay there, but Zachary Fitzpatrick Sr. is in the mix as well, and he also needs to get a move on if he's going to have a shot at this thing. Back up towards the front, we're looking at Sylvain Lesavage going for 2nd position on the F1 of Fred Flintstone. Fred's just been leaving a little bit too much of a gap down on the inside, and people keep taking advantage of him. as Sylvain would end up getting by for second. Small hanging there in fourth as JF starts to run away with this one a little bit. Now looking back at Jeffrey Finguy, who started 31st at the very back of the grid. Bit of a disappointing qualifying effort, but is already up to 16th in just 25 laps. What a drive so far today for him. Now we're looking at Bryan Hart, who's continuing to go up through the field. He's up past the 15 into 6th place, as that's really solid for his championship effort. That gets him where he needs to be. Ike Durbin and Damir Bejinov side by side for around the 15th spot. Damir had a strong start, but has started to falter here. Might have used up too much tires in the early going and have been hoping for a caution that has not come. As Tony Tavaleris is at the back of the grid. Not too much of a surprise, but disappointing for his Skip Barber Racing Team payment schedule, I'm sure. Dan Bouchard is a surprise, though, back there in 31st after winning at the last paved oval. Now we're looking at Tyler Thaber, who has been flying and is up 17 spots from the start and is now cracking the top 10 as he's going to get by Zachary Fitzwater Sr. He's on the move and in a hurry. We're at lap 50 already as we do a quick field flyby. The front of the pack has really driven away from the midfield, as most of the field is generally side by side. There you see Damir Bejinov stuck in the midfield as JF Finguy and Sylvain Lesavage start to approach lap traffic. Now we're looking at a battle for fourth between Fred Flintstone and Al Lagasse. Bridget Pitt and Kyle Collins battle for sixth right behind them, as Al Lagasse's looks like he's going to get the position. As Bryan Hart all on his own there in the fourth place, probably the loneliest spot on this racetrack. As now we're looking at the 88, who has caught JF Finguy. JF has not been able to make much progress through this lap traffic, and Sylvain is going to try and use the 07 car as a pick here, but he's stuck behind the 07 himself, and Caitlin Sang sticks to the inside. That's going to leave the 29 with an opportunity to try and get by, but no, the 88 with a better run off the corner, and we're side by side for the lead. Down into the corner. This is going to allow Small Nozomi to get right back into the picture, but the 88 does snap the lead away. But he would hold it for just a few laps as they still stay stuck behind, and now they battle again. 29 now on the inside. 99 right there in third. And the 35 with a big amount of space between him and anyone else. Just what he likes to see, I'm sure. But JF Finguy looking to cap off the season with a win, or at least a top three, it seems like, as these three really seem like the class of the field so far today. So Sylvain Lesavage holding on the outside, maintaining that position for now, but 29 definitely has the better real estate. 88 with a way better run off the corner and gets the lead back. Very impressive by Sylvain. As we're going at it again now, we jump to lap 68 as Small Nozomi probably going to get impatient here if neither of these guys can get a run, as they're battling right in front to try and be the last car on the lead lap, hoping for a caution here. Very close battle between JF Finguy and Sylvain Lesavage. These two very evenly matched. Small Nozomi trying to get into second place and is going to do so. That's where she needs to be, but she would need Bryan Hart to not be anywhere near as close to the front as he is now, as Bryan Hart has joined the picture and is now racing for third spot with Small Nozomi. And if they're not careful about closing the door on the inside and catching the 30, protecting their position from the 35, he's going to might have a chance of getting by for second here past the 88. And Bryan Hart right up into the mix, as he's been all season. Always finds himself in the right place at the right time. has been good on the road courses, good on the short tracks. Super impressive effort all season long by that 35 car. As we've got some contact further back with Patrick Smith, Nick Pericles, and Ike Durbin getting together, washing up the track just a bit, but they managed to hold on to it. As we're getting reports of a car slowing down on the outside. Yeah, it's Nicky Martinez with a problem in the 97. That car sputtering down into turn 3 and having trouble getting off the racing line. Some close calls there, especially with Patrick Smith. Comes to a stop off the corner. Wow, that was really close to a major accident with Lucas Knight. Nicky Martinez would be able to keep going after a tow back, but would fall a couple of laps down. Under yellow, the 29 of JF Finguy opting to stay out, but it looks like everyone else is in, and this is devastating for the 29. He opts to protect his position out front, but everyone behind has pit. That's Caitlin Sang is the only other car out, but she's one lap down, so she has to pit in a lap anyways. As we take a look at the drivers making their pit stops, Sylvain Lesavage leads them in. Al Lagasse and Bridget Pitt making their stops. Fred Flintstone has the front stall. Who is going to get out first? It's actually going to be Nicky Martinez coming out after her quick tow back. But in terms of the lead lap cars, it's Sylvain Lesavage narrowly holding position over Bryan Hart. Then it's Al Lagasse and Small Nozomi pips Tyler Thaber for position as we continue to see the grid roll back out. But this is going to put the 29 in bad shape. As we end up with the 96 and the 69 actually ending up going down a lap under the yellow flag. They were so far back in the field when they came in that they ended up that lap down, and that's really unfortunate for them. The 88 of Sylvain Lesavage leads the field back to the green flag. The 29 of JF Finguy did end up opting to pit a lap later than everyone else and would lose huge track position as a result. Now we're looking at Small Nozomi and Tyler Thaber, but Small Nozomi's got issues. The 99, one of our championship contenders, with issues coming down the front stretch, limping down to the bottom of the track, and that's going to bring out the yellow again here. Yeah, as the 99 comes to a stop on the front stretch. The 99 would keep going like the 97, but would fall a few laps down. As the 88 takes the restart, we've got Al Lagasse going after the 35, and the 92's way up the track and is now fighting with the 15 for the 6th position. As Tyler Thaber is now up into the top 5, racing alongside Fred Flintstone. Nice battle between the 15 and the 92 down into the corner. As Benoit has been pretty solidly up in the top 7 all day. A strong final showing for this Frenchman. But Jeffrey Finguy looking to pick off where his teammate and father left off, as JF's going to have to make his way all the way from the back of the field. But Jeffrey's already done that and shown that it can be done. So it'll be interesting to see how this race progresses. Jacob Young in the 72 has cracked the top 8 and is racing with Casey Lester. He started midfield, fell back early on, made up a few spots, had a quick pit stop, and is now clearly quite a bit faster than he was earlier on in the day. We've got a caution out, and it's going to be Jacob Young holding off the 013. As we look back at Lucas Knight, who catches Damir Bejinov off of turn 2, clips the side of him, gets loose, runs down the track in front of the 48 and goes for a quick spin. Disappointing for the 8 car, but overall no damage, or at least not yet, until a bizarre incident under caution where the number 97 and the 69 got together a bit there. The 97 was reversing back up the track, and I don't think the 8 saw that one coming, and that is heavy damage for Lucas Knight now. When it rains, it pours, I guess, but the 8 would pit and remove the hood and come back out. Under yellow, William Brock would also pit in the DeWalt machine. He would end up pitting right in the lap before the restart, so he would fall behind, but they were detecting a vibration. He was already near the back, so he'll just be hoping for a yellow to stay on the lead lap. A rough end to a brutal season as the 88 gets away well and drives in front of the 35. As we're at lap 100 now, as we do another field flyby. It's only been a lap or two since the restart, so the field is still pretty condensed, with the exception of William Brock there, of course, who's coming into frame now and is really going to be looking for that yellow pretty soon, I think. As now we look at the 72 of Jacob Young racing free wide with Fred Flintstone and Jeffrey Finguy, and the 72 is going to get in front of both of them. That Canadian Tire machine really on the move. He's up in the top 6 now. As we look towards the back of the field, we got 3 lap down cars racing for position, and you think that might stop them from making contact, but you'd be wrong. These 3 are racers at heart, and well, the racing never stops, even when you're pretty much out of it. As now we look at JF Finguy racing with Ike Durbin and Andy Thomas. Man, it's rough seeing the 29 mired back here along with the 73 after both of those guys had pretty strong starts to the event, especially the 29 after leading so many laps earlier on. As Nicky Martinez, Lucina Gallo, Annie Thomas, and Lucas Knight in quite a battle for position. That 8 car definitely a bit off the pace now, but hanging on to the field is, oh, we've got huge contact. Tony Tavares up in the air there after contact with Dan Bouchard. Let's take another look, as it looks like the 037 just misjudged where his bumper was going into the corner and clipped the right rear of the 69. I don't think that was intentional, because the 037 sure wrecked himself in the process too. But this one would take Tony Tavares out of the race. A disastrous end to another terrible campaign as Sylvain Lesavage gets the restart. Benoit Laverne way up the racetrack. I'm not sure where he's going. I think into the next county. But Sylvain Lesavage going to hold on to the race lead. Bryan Hart taking a look on the inside, unable to make anything of it now. Looking towards the back of the field on that restart, Nicky Martinez would pass Ellie Nelson before we got to the green flag. It was pretty close, but that was indeed a pass, and that nets Nicky Martinez her 3rd penalty for doing so in the last 4 races, with Canadian Tire Motorsports Parkway the only ones that she hasn't gotten a penalty on. And well, that would be impressive because there was only 1 start, but Nicky Martinez falls another lap down. What's sad is that wasn't even for position. Nicky was already 1 lap behind everyone else. Now she's 2 laps behind her nearest competitor. Now back to the front as the 72 is getting by the 15 for 4th position. Both these guys have had pretty strong days. 15's been in the top 10 the whole time. 72 cracking the top 5 and is making quick work of the 15. Behind them, it's a 3-wide battle between the 77, the 777, and the 16 as Bridget Pitt defends successfully and swings all the way back down to the bottom of the track to start making progress up towards Jeffrey Finguy and Max Anderson. Sylvain Lesavage holding the lead, but he's got issues with that 88. He's got a tire going down as the 35 goes by on the outside along with other cars, and that 88 trying to keep that car to the apron is devastating for Sylvain Lesavage and that team with the Dodge Challenger. They're going to fall all the way to the tail of the field with that one. But Bryan Hart, your championship leader, is now in 1st, but closely followed by Jacob Young and Al Lagasse. Jacob Young looks so strong in that 72 ever since that pit stop. That car has just been on rails. Carries so much momentum through the corner. 32 coming back on the outside with a strong run down the back stretch. But look at the run through the corner, through the mid section of the corner by the 72 to snap away that 2nd place. The race is on for 4th as well. We got a 5-car battle between Fred Flintstone, Al Lagasse, Casey Lester, Patrick Smith, and Tyler Faber. Al Lagasse hanging on to it best he can on the outside. Really impressive run by the brown and blue number 32. But Fred is going to keep trying. Casey Lester's going to try around the outside. Drivers getting more experience on this track and trying different lines. We've got just around 20 laps to go, so got to start trying some unique moves if you're going to get your way to the front. But we've got a caution out as Damir Bejinov and Sylvain Lesage were racing. Ike Durbin went for a gap that did not exist, and the 88 gets up into the wall. He fell a lap down, re-merged mid-pack, and now has some damage to boot. A rough go for the 88 after a big change in fortunes just a few laps ago. Bryan Hart brings him back to the green with just 15 laps to go. Barring a disaster, he will easily claim the championship, but the 72 wants that race win bad. The 35 gives Jacob Young a wide berth and is going to try and defend on the outside carefully. He's holding on for now, but the 72 has been so strong through the corners. Look at Benoit Ravine up into third as well. He's not out of it either, as Bryan Hart continuing to defend on the outside, not letting Jacob Young get away with this one too easily. But the 72 is so strong in the corners, so stable. It's that Pontiac on the bottom of the track where he's made all of his moves to get himself from the midfield all the way to the front. But they continue side by side. 72 looking like he's gonna get away with it as we cut further back with Diego Yepes and Kyle Collins making contact, chasing it all the way up the racetrack. And if the 16 didn't let up, I'm almost sure there would have been a crash off too. And now they're stuck up high, getting shuffled back in the pack. No one's going to let them back in line at this point in the race. We're back looking at the lead battle, which has not stopped all through that. And they've been side by side for the last few laps. But Jacob Young's going to get the position, and it's going to be disrupted by Benoit Ravine getting into the side of the 35. I'm sure that was a bit of a scary moment for him, as Benoit going for second and trying to use his aggression as a message for the 35 to get out of the way. As the 92 blows up down the back straightaway. Oh, Jeffrey Finguy, his bad luck has returned with a vengeance. He was in the top 10 the whole race, but with just 10 laps to go, looks like he used up all of his luck to get his win last week. And we're back to regularly scheduled programming. Just 4 laps to go on the restart as the 72 gets a good run. 15 is going after Bryan Hart for second, and the 72 is starting to drive away. Can Jacob Young bring this one home? Does Benoit Ravine have anything left? Benoit Ravine finally getting by Bryan Hart as we hit around 2 laps to go. Here comes Al Lagasse on the bottom of the track, trying to get the 35, as I think Bryan Hart has kind of just relinquished the position and is just looking to survive here. Just needs a top 6 to guarantee himself the championship win. As we're coming to the white flag now, Jacob Young came back into the series after over a decade out of the car. He came with big name sponsorship in the form of Canadian Tire and has picked up like he never left, as following a mid-race adjustment, he was a man on a mission driving through the field to take the lead, and he never looked back. He wins at Jukasa Motor Speedway, but just behind in the race for third, Bryan Hart is narrowly going to hold on to the podium at the line and will capture the championship in his rookie campaign by blowing the field out of the water in that almost unsponsored 35. What an amazing season for him. Between them, it was Benoit Ravine taking second after an aggressive pass in the 35 in the closing laps. Fourth was Al Lagasse after a good all-round effort, and Fred Flintstone gets the top 5 after starting on pole. Then it was Lester and Smith in 6th and 7th, Max Anderson up to 8th after starting from last, Tyler Faber with a solid 9th, and Bridgette Pitt rounding out the top 10. After leading the most laps early on, JF Finguy could only salvage 16th on the day after the pit strategy blunder. Looking at the point standings, Bryan Hart comfortably won the championship with an almost full race advantage over his competition. He captured a win in front of his home crowd in Montreal, 3 podiums, 7 top 10s, and had an average finish of 8th. Damir Bejjanov claimed second due to a combination of his predecessor's performances and a strong run for him personally at CTMP. And Tyler Faber ekes out third following his win at Hay River. He gave it a good shot today after driving through most of the field, but it just wasn't enough. Lucas Knight recovered from his spin to claim fourth in the standings, and Zachary Fitzwater Sr. gets fifth after starting off the season with a win in Michigan. Then it's Gallo, Pericles, and Nozomi as the only other drivers over 200 points, with Nozomi's teammates Fred Flintstone in 9th and Max Anderson a quiet 10th. At the bottom of the standings, it's a familiar sight as William Brock and Tony Tavaleris maintain the bottom two positions that they held in the 2017 Pro Series campaign. I hope you all enjoyed this very drawn-out series of HARC racing. Thank you very much for watching, and we'll see you soon for a special send-off race.